Hi, good afternoon. Hello and welcome to MF Corner. I'm Sumaira Abdi. Joining in today, Moneyfront's Mohit Gang will talk about how you can read the duration of a debt fund to determine the interest rate risk that it's carrying. Also on the show today, Kalpesh Asher of Full Circle Financial Planners will make sense of the NFO mania, when to invest and when to ignore. All right, so first up, let me go across to Mohit Gang of Moneyfront, who's our first guest this afternoon. Hi, Mohit. Let's get started then. So, if you've looked at duration funds, and this is for all our audience, and you've ever wondered if it sounds like Latin or Greek, well, you worry not. We're here to help you decode the important bits, and most importantly, how can you read the duration of a debt fund to determine the interest rate risk. What is it? Why does it matter? And how do you read it? Well, Mohit, before we get started on this, first a word on interest rate risk itself and its relationship with bond funds.
Yeah, sure. Before we start, Sumaira, wish you a very happy birthday and wish all your
Thank
viewers a
you.
very happy and prosperous 2021. So I think two or three risks in debt funds, which is interest rate risk, credit risk, and liquidity risk. These are the main three risks which an investor should be aware of. When it comes to interest rate risk, it just tells you how sensitive the debt portfolio is towards interest rate changes. So if interest rate goes up, the bond prices comes down. That's an inverse relationship which everyone is aware about, right? So when interest rates go up in economy, your debt funds will start giving you negative returns or the NAVs will start coming down. And when interest rates go down, which has been happening for last 1 odd year, your debt funds have given supernormal returns and the NAVs have gone up, right? So that's just a simple relationship between interest rate and debt funds.
Okay, so Mohit, then, how does an investor know if their fund is taking interest rate risk? What is the level of that risk? Is it beneficial at all to that investors? How do they know if it's good, bad, ugly?
Okay, so it's a very simple concept which is called duration. If an investor goes to any website, he can see a number called modified duration on the website against each scheme. Even the scheme fact sheets will publish a Macaulay duration or a number of modified duration. It's denominated in years. So let's just take a simple example. Let's take a fund with a modified duration or duration of 6 years, right? And the NAV of the fund is, let's say, 50 rupees. Now, if the interest rate goes up by 1%, what will happen is that fund will immediately give a negative return of 6% approximately, because that's the duration of the fund, or duration is actually the sensitivity of the fund towards the interest rate movements, as to how sensitive your fund is if interest rates fluctuates in the economy. So in the same example, if interest rate goes up by 1%, the NAV will actually fall by 6% because the duration of the fund was 6. So 50 rupee NAV will come down to 47, and vice versa is also true. If the interest rates come down by 1%, the NAV will actually shoot up by 6% because the fund is carrying a longer duration of around 6 years, and the price from 50 will go up to 53. So it's a very simple number which every investor should track in the fund fact sheets or on the various websites. It's always published along the key ratios of the scheme. And it's a very important number to track when you select the debt scheme, to know how much interest rate risk the scheme is carrying. The higher the number, that means higher the risk which you will undertake by virtue of interest rate fluctuations. The lower the number, that shows that the interest rate risk in the scheme is very minimal. So if you take example of, let's say, liquid funds or ultra short term funds, the duration number in liquid funds is, let's 30 days, not even a year, right? 25 days, 30 days. So that means they are absolutely not sensitive to interest rate movements, and whatever happens to interest rates in the economy, your liquid fund will keep giving you static yield, basically. So that's how you track this thing.
Okay. So, Mohit, like say, for example, would all liquid funds be created equal with respect to interest rate risk? No, right? How much do you have to rely on the skill of a fund manager to manage this? And, for a retail investor, how important is it in the larger scheme of things? Like, so if I'm selecting a debt fund, do I need to look at it at that time? Do I need to look at it at some point, a few years into my investment? When does it become important? And, how much of it is dependent on how good or how experienced the fund manager is?
All right. So it's a fairly simple thing, Sumaira. So let's say if a debt investor wants to park his funds for 3 years, it will be most appropriate for the debt investor to choose a duration which is matching to his investment horizon. So let's say if I want to park my funds for 3 years, I would rather go in for a banking and PSU debt fund or a corporate debt fund, because both will typically have a modified duration of around 2.5 to 3.5 years in that band, right? So I am matching my duration, which is in effect nothing but the horizon or the maturity of the underlying portfolio as to when the portfolio will start paying back the entire cash flows. So if I match that, there are very minimal chances that I will be disappointed in the interim. Similarly, the question which you asked, that do liquid funds will all have similar kind of a duration? Yes, broadly in a similar range. A particular category of funds, let's say liquid, ultra short, low duration, they will all move in a similar band, because SEBI also mandates, as per the classification of scheme, that each scheme will have a particular Macaulay duration which they will have to run. So if a medium term fund will carry, let's say, 3 to 5 years of Macaulay duration, so SEBI has stipulated that. So all the funds in the industry will follow that norm. Within that band, they can fluctuate, and when an investor is about to invest, it will be always prudent to see two things. First, what is his view on the interest rate cycle? If you think that the interest rates in the economy will go up, or then it is extremely important that you choose funds with lower duration, which means towards the shorter end of the curve. So you should be into schemes like liquid funds, ultra short, low duration, at best floating rate or short-term funds. If you think the interest rates in the economy will come down, then it makes imminent sense to go towards the long end of the curve and buy funds which have very high durations, like gilt funds, income funds, long duration, long maturity funds, even medium term funds or dynamic bond funds. So it will all depend on the interest rate cycle, your view on interest rate cycle. And obviously you will have to track that one single number while investing or before investing in the portfolio of the scheme.
Okay, so we'll come back to, in a bit to what is the current recommendation. But before that, Mohit, a lot of people talk about duration, but many times we confuse it with the maturity, right? So can you explain to viewers the difference between duration and maturity?
So, yeah, I think that's a very valid question. So average maturity and duration, these are two numbers which will always be quoted. Average maturity is a fairly simplistic concept, which means if you buy a 10-year bond or a 10-year paper, the maturity is 10 years, right? If 3 years have passed by, the time to maturity remaining is 7 years. So it's a fairly simplistic concept as to when the bond will actually mature, and that's maturity. Duration is actually the sensitivity of the bond to interest rate changes. So it not even takes the time to maturity, it also computes the coupon payments. So if the coupon payments or the cash flows of the bond are higher in initial years, the lower will be the duration. So if, let's say, a bond has a maturity of 10 years, the duration will be somewhere in the band of 6 to 7 years, depending on the coupon payments. Duration number is always lesser than or equal to the maturity number in terms of bonds who are paying regular coupons. So that's simplistic to understand. Maturity is just a number to see how the average holdings in the portfolio are, how long the portfolio will be held, and duration is more of sensitivity analysis.
Okay, so Mohit, what is the current recommendation, right? Rates are so low. Given this scenario, how does a person judge what kind of a fund they should be looking at?
Look, Sumaira, so that's a very tough call. We have seen historic lows on the interest rate cycle. No one could have predicted that we will go so low on the repo, reverse repo. And even the 10-year bond today is quoting at around 5.8, right? When you track these numbers, you have to always track the 10-year GSEC yield. So at around 5.8, what is the probability that it will go further low? To my mind, fairly less. Even RBI's chances of reducing rates further will depend, though, on many scenarios, including inflation, growth numbers in the economy. But the way overall economy is picking up, the growth numbers are coming in, inflation is again shooting up, seems very unlikely that interest rates can fall dramatically below. So you are almost at the fag end of the interest rate reduction cycle. And from here on, the cycle can reverse perhaps in 3 months, 6 months, or a year's time. No one can predict that. But if the cycle will reverse, then it is prudent for investors to stay towards the short end of the curve and not go into long duration portfolios. If you go into long duration portfolios, there is a high chance that when interest rates start going up, you will earn negative returns. So it's better to stay towards the short end of the curve. At best, you can go to 2-3 year kind of a duration, not beyond that, which will include categories like liquid, ultra short, low duration, floating, to some extent short-term funds, banking PSU, and corporate bond funds. I think beyond that, if you increase the duration in your portfolio, it can become tricky in about 6 months' time or thereabout.
Got it. Mohit, thanks very much for explaining this concept to our viewers. And viewers, just a note for you, I know we use terms like Macaulay duration, modified duration. So if you feel that you require a further explanation on this, you can tweet to me. You can, even email us on our email addresses. And, if there is a requirement for this to be explained, we will do that. But for now, Mohit, thanks very much for doing an excellent job of explaining how to read the interest rate risk by seeing the duration of a bond fund. With that, we'll take a very quick break. Up